Yo guys, welcome back again today. And today we're going to be talking about something exciting. A group of people or people of African descent in the Wild Wild West that I don't think a lot of people know about. A lot of people know more so about cowboys like Billy the Kid and other white cowboys, but I don't think they know too much about African descent cowboys. So today we're going to be talking about Nat Love. Nat Love was born in 1854 in Davidson County, Tennessee on a plantation. Nat Love, his father and mother were all owned by Robert Love. Robert Love was the owner of many slaves and land. On this plantation, he also profited off of crops and was an extensive planter. Nat Love's mother would wait tables at the master's big table and big house while also running the loom, weaving clothes, and milking cows. Nat's father was the foreman of the slaves in the estate, and Nat Love had a sister named Sally, which was around 8 years old, and a brother named Jordan. Nat's sister, though she was young, would look after young Nat while keeping the flies away from the master of the plantation. As Nat became a toddler, he would look after himself and would hold himself up with chairs to get food from the master or the master's family like he was a family pet dog. As Nat Love got older, his father would teach him how to read and write, though this was against the law at the time. Soon after, in 1865, slavery was abolished by the government, but Nat's family would stay put on the plantation to become sharecroppers. Now, the family wanted to grow corn, tobacco, and other crops, but this plan was cut short due to his father's death. After his father's death, he would take on a second job on a local farm to help the family. He was offered 10 cents for every colt that he could break to ride. After Love proved himself with more docile animals, he was offered 25 cents in advance for taming a wild, untrustworthy stallion. Nat's love for horses and his willingness to accept any challenge would make him an ideal person for the job. Nat Love would go on to tame the wild horse, but lost the quarter in the process of the long, rough ride. Establishing this talent for breaking horses and working random jobs, he would soon enter a local raffle and won his first horse. He would then take the horse that he won and sold it for $100. He would then give half of the money to his mother and use the other half of the money to leave home when he was only 16 and headed west. Nat would soon arrive in Dodge City, Kansas, and found work as a cowpuncher for $30 a month with Sam Duvall outfit. According to Nat Love, he was only one of the number of black cowboys in the company. He won the admiration and confidence of his peers by taming the wildest bronco horse. He excelled in being a ranch hand and was very good at all tasks on the range. Nat Love described Dodge City as a town with many saloons, gambling houses, dance halls, and very little of anything else. Throughout the next 3 years, he participated in dozens of cattle drives from Texas to Kansas. He learned to handle a gun in the process, and before long he became a sharpshooter. Nat states his first Native American attack took him by surprise. And Nat Love lost all his courage when he heard native war yelling or chants and thought he was going to die, but managed to get away somehow. Soon after, Nat Love would ride up to Chisholm Trail from Texas to southern Arizona, where he accepted a job from the Pete Gallinger Company. This company was a large company on the banks of the Gila River. By this time, Nat became more comfortable with being a cowboy and embraced the excitement and challenge of escapes, Mustang hunts, cattle staples or stampedes, and deadly terrain, and also weather changes as well. Nat was soon named Chief Brand Reader of the Gallinger Company. This position made him responsible for the identification and the care of the company's livestock during roundups on the open range. In 1876, Nat and other cowboys would deliver a herd of 3,000 steers to Deadwood City, South Dakota. Nat Love recalled his camaraderie with his fellow cowboys. Nat Love stated that there was never a braver, truer set of men who ever lived than these wild sons of the plains, whose home was in the saddle and their couch was Mother Earth, with the sky for covering. He also states that they were always ready to share their blankets and their last ration with less fortunate fellow companions. They also assisted each other in many trying situations that were continually coming up in a cowboy's life. This town was a booming town, and it was a booming mining town that drew the likes of cowboys and gamblers from miles away. Now, while Nat was visiting, the locals organized a shooting and roping contest and invited Nat and the other cowboys to participate. Nat was one of the 6 black contestants, and this contest gathered some of the best cowboys from the West. Nat would go on to become the first in the lassoing, tying, roping competition, and mounting an untamed bronco in record time. So he would go first in all of these competitions. Nat states he roped, threw, tied, and saddled and mounted the Mustang in exactly 9 minutes from the crack of the gun. And my record, or his record, has never been beaten since. And that's what he was stating at the time. He also stated that no horse ever threw him as hard as the Mustang did, but he never stopped sticking spurs into the Mustang until he proved he was its master. We also must note that the next best time in this competition was 12 minutes and 30 seconds, so he was very fast. Nat Love also won 2 shooting contests as well. One shooting contest he won was with a rifle at 100 yards, and another was at 250 yards. The other contest was with a Colt 45 at 150 yards. Now, each contestant had 14 shots with the rifle and 12 shots with the Colt. Now, Love hit all of his rifle shots in the bullseye and 10 of his 12 pistol shots in the center. His nearest competitor hit only 8 with the rifle and 5 with the Colt 45. Nat winning those competitions would gain him the nickname Deadwood Dick and $200 for winning the competition. After Nat's victory at Deadwood, he would ride back to his new home and ranch in Arizona. Nat Love would go on to encounter cattle robberies and shootouts, as well as his own accounts of being nearly captured by Native Americans numerous times while having gunfights with them. Now, one day after a few months of his return home, Nat and his unit were out on the range searching for stray cattle, and suddenly he was bombarded and chased off by Native Americans. Nat Love states in this occasion he was captured by natives that he said was chasing him on well-mounted horses. The natives also shot his horse, and then he used his horse as a shield while fighting the natives till he ran out of bullets. Nat Love also states he received several bullet wounds and was knocked unconscious. He states he was soon captured, held captive for 3 days, and eventually offered freedom to be adopted into the tribe due to his heritage. He also states many that were in the tribe were half colored, or the term that was used for African Americans at the time, or black and half Native American. He goes on to write that eventually he stole a horse in the night and rode bareback for 12 hours, escaping to the west of Texas. Nat also went on to write that this was the closest brush to death that he had ever had. Now, as the railroads expanded and the industrial period grabbed the country, a lot of cowboys would have to transfer over to less rugged jobs and lives. Nat decided to leave the cowboy life and married his wife Alicia in 1889. He initially moved to Denver, Colorado to settle down and took a job in 1890 with Pullman Porter. Now, Nat Love states, to the cowboys of the range, used to the wild and unrestricted life of the boundless plains, the new order of things did not appeal to most cowboys. So basically, cowboys didn't want to leave the rugged life of being a cowboy and or outlaws. Some were outlaws, some were just cowboys. We must understand that all cowboys were not outlaws, but some outlaws were originally cowboys, right? And I think a lot of people know cowboys as being outlaws or people against the law or doing whatever they want to do, but that's not necessarily the case for all cowboys, right? Now, Nat Love would go on to oversee sleeping cars on the Denver and Rio Railroad. He took pride in working in the railroads as a porter, and he believed what he learned as a young kid in slavery to becoming a free cowboy and riding trains into the 20th century was him changing with the times. While working for the railroad, him and his family would live in several western states before he moved to Southern California. In 1907, Love published his autobiography entitled Life and Adventures of Nat Love, better known in the cattle country as Deadwood Dick. And he wrote this by himself, which greatly enhanced his legacy. In his book, he talks of occasions such as drinking with the famous cowboy Billy the Kid, shootouts with native peoples, roping, cattle thieves, and daredevil riding. Nat Love would die in 1921 at the age of 67. So guys, today we learned about a black cowboy, someone of African descent in the Wild Wild West that started off in slavery and then became a free cowboy in the West, even though he did still deal with some racism in the West. But he was a free cowboy and he lived the life the way he wanted to live. A lot of historians argue about his accounts in his book, just like a lot of cowboys, if these people did exactly what they say. So some of these stories that Nat Love says, some historians say maybe he was exaggerating, and other people say maybe it just was the time and he was really doing what he was doing, like a lot of cowboys said that they were doing what they were doing. I guess some accounts we'll never know because we weren't there, but majority of his story we could probably say that it is true, and we know for sure that he definitely was a cowboy and he did 90% of what he said he did. And guys, until next time, please like and subscribe and follow me on all my social medias, which is Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all Afric Network. Yo guys, each one teach one. Please always learn about each other, always love each other, and always trying to be caring and nurturing to each other as well as understanding to each other. And yo, until next time, keep riding, cowboys. One love.
What's up?
Hey.
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.
African.
We